President Trump talking up the need for diplomacy after his summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin and pushing back against Democrats who'd been calling on the president to cancel the summit after special counsel Robert Mueller indicted 12 Russian officials Friday for alleged cyber attacks on the DNC. Just hours before the summit, Hillary Clinton tweeting, "Great World Cup," like she watched. Question for President Trump as he meets Putin: do you know which team you play for? Kinky. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tweeting for President Trump to meet with President Putin without expressing the outrage of the American people and securing real progress would be terrible for the U.S. and the security of our election system. But Republican Congressman John Ratcliffe suggesting Democrats' objections are politically motivated. Watch.
Someone needs to remind Senator Schumer that the party in the minority doesn't get to set and make foreign policy decisions. The real reason that Senator Schumer and other Democrats don't want Donald Trump to sit down with Vladimir Putin tomorrow is the same reason they didn't want Donald Trump to sit down with Kim Jong-un last month. They're afraid he'll succeed.
Nancy Pelosi tweeting, Donald Trump had the opportunity to stand up to Putin today, less than 72 hours after DOJ indicted 12 additional Russian officials for attacking the 2016 elections. He blames both countries. Hashtag blame America first, hashtag Trump Putin. Do you stand with Nancy?
Absolutely, I do. I mean, I stand with, by the way, there's a lot of Republicans who don't think that Trump should have had this meeting as well, especially in light of the Mueller indictments that came out less than 100 hours from when this meeting actually took place. Look, again, Donald Trump had the opportunity to go on in front of the world stage and condemn Vladimir Putin for what he and the Russians allowed to happen on our election. The fact that he did not, and by the way, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican standing on that stage, the fact that the President of the United States did not condemn Russia and Putin for this behavior, and by the way, and believe Putin over our own intelligence community.
Should he have handed him a reset button? I mean, is that the right way to confront Vladimir Putin? I mean, Vladimir Putin has been acting this way the entire time that he's been around.
Which is why we shouldn't have. Why we shouldn't even be engaging with him right now.
For you to say that was the appropriate metered response. If you'd stood up there and said, "Listen, you bastard, we are going to rain hellfire all over your economy if you continue with this nonsense."
I think if he said something that was very forceful, that was taken very seriously, and the first words out of his mouth were,
accused him of starting World War III.
We absolutely condemn, on behalf of the United States government, I condemn what you and the Russians did to our democracy, the fact that you influenced our democracy to the detriment of essentially Hillary Clinton. And we will not have diplomatic relations with you in any way, shape, or form until you rectify the situation and promise to never do this again.
I want to ask you something specific here, because the timing of the release of the new indictments is very curious and almost seems to be from the Justice Department and the intelligence community forcing the president's narrative. Do you think there was something curious about?
Well, there's no doubt about it. Timing matters, because I have no idea why we're getting this report little by little. It never happened with Ken Starr. It didn't happen with the Valerie Plame situation. It's bizarre. However, I think it works to the president's helping the president, because now instead of saying my opinion against your opinion, this is pretty hardcore stuff. Yep. And that's what I think happened one-on-one. I will say this. Devin Nunes had that information out of the House. No one looked at it. He even told the page in which he listed all 12 of those people. And they never mentioned the RNC was hacked, too.
Well,